Welcome in, ladies, gentlemen, back on the JV show.
Big T Productions.
Welcome in, ladies, gentlemen, back on the JV show with myself, your host, JV. I'm excited to announce that today's show is going to be the first both on our Instagram at the JV show as well on the Fantasy Football Networks. This is just a little bit of a preview. We got a lot of things coming in real soon, so stay tuned for that. Details coming your way in the next coming months, but that's not what we're here to talk about today. We are here to preview the first round of the NFL playoffs, the wild card round. And alongside me today, once again, is going to be my two NFL guys. Number one, Mr. Luke Shepard from the Young One Show. Luke, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, man. Happy to be on again for however many times it's been this season.
Hey, man, I appreciate you coming on. I'm excited to get down to work, dissect these NFL playoff games with you. I mean, we've been waiting all season for this, so I'm super excited myself. I hope you're pumped. And again, second time in a row, we got my man Jason from Football Kingdom. Jason, how you doing?
Great. Glad to be here for the second time and ready to talk about playoffs.
Yeah, man. I'm super hyped for this. This is what we all wait for every single season, and it never gets old, I'll tell you. And this year, it did not fail to please us. Some crazy games. I didn't think Week 18 would have had that many implications, but obviously it did. And to start off the episode, we're just going to hop in right into the teams that didn't make it, but were really on the edge of making it, right? So there's three I got in mind. I got, unfortunately, the Colts. We got the Chargers, and we also got the Ravens. So those three teams in specific I want to talk about today. We also had the Saints, but the Saints kind of off and on this season. I don't think that they were super playoff contenders, but the three teams I listed, I really want to cover briefly here. So, Luke, as a Colts fan, obviously a little bit depressing to see the Colts lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars 26-11. Just give me your honest thoughts on the game, and then we'll move on. I just a minute of just your honest thoughts here.
All right. Well, right after the game, it was immediate panic from all of Colts Nation. Immediate fire Frank Reich, fire Chris Ballard, trade Carson Wentz, trade all these dudes, blow it up. And I don't blame them. I reacted the same exact way after losing to a team like Jacksonville. The more I've thought about it, the more I've realized how obviously that's ridiculous. But I'm just so disappointed in how we showed up and how we were held. I don't get how you have 20 dudes out basically, and you beat one of the top teams in the NFC, the Cardinals. But then you go out and you play with almost a fully healthy team, and you get destroyed by Jacksonville. It was frustration. I was feeling depressed for the whole 3 hours. I watched every second of it. And,
loss of words. And myself too, unfortunately, I was riding the Colts all season long. I don't even want to talk about it. My emotions have been let out. Jason, I think just for the sake of the episode, we're just going to move on and go to the Chargers here. From your view, what happened with the Chargers against the Raiders there? Why were they held back? I know there was that timeout, but what went wrong with the Chargers? Why didn't they make the playoffs this year? And what are you kind of looking at the Chargers to do next season?
I was a guy who was very high on the Chargers. I think I had the Chargers winning that division, and I had them as a Super Bowl contender at one point. And I think late in that game in the third quarter, that fourth down on their own 18-yard line, which led to 3 points, and then that big pass interference call in the end zone, where it was nowhere near catchable, that was another 7 points. I mean, they gave the Raiders 10 points, and that really was the difference maker. and then that timeout at the end of the game. I think the Raiders were ready to just call it a tie, end the game, and have them both make it. But something about that timeout triggered the Raiders in a way that they didn't like. So they just wanted to put it down their throats and give it to their division rival.
Yep, completely agree. I think that number one, the Raiders may have ended up winning the game regardless of the timeout or not, but I think that kind of triggered something, as you mentioned, on the Raiders side, saying like, "Hey, these guys don't want to make the playoffs. Like we're giving them a free pass. We have control over our own destiny right now." So I think that's where the Chargers went wrong.
It would have been a long field goal. I think it was 56.
Yeah,
if they didn't get
exactly.
any yards. Yeah.
Before
So
the
it
Josh
was-
Jacobs run.
Yeah, it was just a weird situation, but I think next year, for me at least, I'm looking at the Chargers just to have another good season. I think that they're a playoff team, playoff contender. I just think that everybody's got to be healthy, number one, and got to be on their game. Luke, just finally here quickly, let's talk about the Ravens. Ravens, if they had Lamar, obviously a different situation. You think that they're going to make the playoffs next season?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, especially with them getting like a high draft pick this year. You're going to get him. You're either going to get Lamar, someone to help protect him. I don't think they're going to get anything for their defense. The thing is, obviously, their secondary was beat up this year. They're going to be healthy next year. And with a healthy secondary, that team is in the playoffs right now. And we're talking about them this weekend. And obviously, Lamar's just been out, 5 games? I mean, he's just been out so many games that I was just making a guess right there. I mean, that it's showing that even though Tyler Huntley's good, he hasn't been able to win them football games. He just hasn't been able to win the football games. I mean, there were some definitely questionable 2-point calls. But I will say that team is definitely going to make the playoffs next year. They're probably going to get someone who Lamar can throw to or who's going to help protect them. And it's just going to – the Ravens will be maybe even – they're going to contend with the Bengals for that champion and the championship in the division, but they're definitely going to make the playoffs, and I would bet my money on it.
No doubt. If the Steelers made the playoffs this
year,
I
definitely think they need another receiver.
Yeah,
they do.
I think that they're lacking at receiver, of course, but every team's missing something. I think that, but if the Steelers are making the playoffs, I think the Ravens can make it easily next year. So that's just.
I think Bateman's a number 1 receiver though on that team.
No, I think he is as well. I think that he could become something really special. Just this year, obviously, as a rookie, it's just I didn't think it was going to happen, especially with Lamar being out and him, having his throwing abilities. He's not the best thrower in the league, but that's not what he's made up of either. He's a great rushing quarterback. So, and that's I think our honest thoughts on just those 3 teams who unfortunately missed the playoffs. But now to get into the meat and potatoes of the episode. Let's talk about the 6 games in this wildcard weekend. So starting us off, Eagles, Bucks. Luke, number 1, who do you have winning this game? And number 2, what do you expect coming out of this game?
Well, this game is Tampa Bay is they're injured. They're full of injuries. They just lost Antonio Brown to that crazy fiasco. And when you see them as a team, though, they're still dangerous. I know they just beat the Panthers to basically get themselves a free 2 seed. I mean, the Panthers are so awful that it was basically just a free run right at the 2 seed. But I think that this could be a closer game than people think. Philly, if they can get everybody back, if Kelsey can play more than 1 snap for the start of the game, they can get all their guys to play. Philly's, they run the ball so well. This could be a similar matchup to Washington last year that Tampa Bay had. This is a team that the Eagles look good, but the thing is in the playoffs, because of their running ability, because of their playmaking quarterback, they may be able to make crazy plays that shock them. And the Eagles, it's definitely more possible for them to win this game than Washington was last year. But I'll definitely say that Tampa's still going to win this game. And despite the injuries, despite Antonio Brown, despite all the drama surrounding Bruce Arians and all that stuff, Tom Brady's so good. He maybe will win MVP in contention with Aaron Rodgers. I don't see them, in my personal opinion, I don't think they lose the game, but I think it's definitely possible that the Eagles make a crazy upset just because Jalen Hurts is that good.
Yeah, fair enough. I think that, okay, very good connection you made there. Washington last year I think it's gonna be the exact same game where the Bucks come in, obviously the dominant team. I don't care if they've missing Chris Godwin, missing Antonio Brown, but the Eagles again have that mobile quarterback like Taylor Heineke. The Eagles will do damage. I don't see them winning against Tom in the playoffs.
I think Hurts is much more dynamic and more of a threat than Taylor Heineke was last year.
No, yeah.
I think the Eagles' run game is the number one rushing team in the league. I think the Eagles can definitely upset the Bucks this week just because of how brutal Tampa is right now. Everything that's going on in that organization. The Eagles are the number one rushing team right now. And they did have 11 guys on the COVID list. They already got some back. Like Fletcher Cox got off the list today. So did Dallas Goedert and Jordan Howard. I think with the way Jalen Hurts is playing, it's his first playoff game. Nick Sirianni's first playoff game in his first year with Philly. I think they're going to take down the Bucks and advance to round number 2.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna have to respectfully disagree here.
Yeah.
I am a Tom Brady lover. Okay, he's just how I understand if you're fans of other teams. That's greatness right there. I don't see it from the Eagles. The Eagles don't have the team. I can't see that happening. I think the Bucks defense steps up in this game and takes them down. That's a good argument though. Like I agree that the Eagles can disrupt what Tampa's going to try to do, but at the end of the day, I don't think the Eagles can do it. They had a good end of the season, but that was strictly due to their schedule. They played Washington, I think, twice, and the Giants. Those are gimmies. So I see what the argument is there. I'm taking the Bucks. I'm taking the Bucks.
The Bucks also are losing Levante David right now. So
Yeah,
that
they are
middle
missing
line
Levante.
position right there. He's supposed to come back for the playoffs, whether it's this week or next week if they advance. But I think the way the Eagles are running the ball right up the middle like that, I don't see the Bucks defense stopping the Eagles run game.
And isn't Leonard Fournette out?
Yeah, he has.
Leonard Fournette questionable. He's another guy that might come back or might not. That's just gonna have to see how practice goes. Him and Levante David.
Yeah, that's huge for playoff Lenny to come back. They're going to need him because he was just so good all season. So that's Eagles Bucks. Moving on to game 2 here. Niners Cowboys. Luke, who you taking?
The Cowboys are the Cowboys. I'm going to take the San Francisco 49ers.
Wow.
What's funny is that when I in the 2019 season, when they went to the Super Bowl, I was big believers in them, and I said they could go 13-3. I don't know if they'll go to the Super Bowl, but they could be like one of those sleeper teams this year. They could be similar to like the Rams and the Bears, those years where they were like 12-4 and really, really good. And then this year, I was not into the 49ers hype. I was not in on it, and I haven't been on it all year until last week. Them beating the Rams, the way Jimmy G, despite his looking at his stat line, 1 touchdown, 2 picks, he had a lot of yards. His completion percentage wasn't bad. When you watch him play, he's a lot better in the eye test than he is on the stat sheet.
Yep.
I think that's pretty obvious. And when I was watching them play, the way they can just make plays, the short passing game, getting it to their weapons like Brandon Ayuk and obviously Deebo Samuel, one of the best playmakers in the whole league, made a play that almost basically won them the game the other day. I mean, the 49ers are dangerous. They really are. It's the first time I'm saying it all year. I'm buying into the Niners hype, and I believe it. And I think that the thing is the Cowboys' weakness is a dirty game that they just beat you up. They beat you up. You can't beat the Cowboys with a pretty offense. You got to beat them with a gritty, grindy, run the ball, beat them up. That's exactly what the Niners are. They're a short game, short passing game. They have George Kittle, who's going to beat you up more than anybody in the league. You have a run game with Elijah Mitchell and all those running backs. And you have a defense that is so talented that I don't know if Dak Prescott's really going to be able to hold up. That's the thing. I don't know if Dak Prescott's really going to be able to hold up.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair enough. I for one was a big Niners supporter. I had them like sixth on my power rankings. I knew that they were going to have a good season. They've obviously had injury issues, and despite Jimmy G, being the attractive man he is, I'm a big believer too in Jimmy G. I think he's a good quarterback. I think he's a good fit for the offense. But I'm taking the Cowboys. I've had so much hate all season from a bunch of Cowboys fans for really no reason. Like, I had you guys ranked seventh in the power rankings like 3 weeks into the season. So I don't want to hear it right now. I'm taking the Cowboys because that offense is elite and high powered, and the defense, okay, Trayvon Diggs is slightly overrated, but he still has the interceptions, and that's all I care about. So I'm taking the Cowboys just in this game, not for the Super Bowl though.
You just sound like a Cowboys fan.
No,
You
I'm
just
not.
sound
I
like-
promise.
I don't care
I
about
promise.
I don't care about his coverage rating. I don't care about him having one of the worst coverage ratings in the NFL. He has interceptions. All I care about.
That's a whole nother story. Okay, I actually do think Trayvon Diggs is very much overrated, but he's had a good year on the stat sheet. So and Micah Parsons as well. Like, that's just the defense is upgraded this season. The offense is very good. I'm not taking the Cowboys for the Super Bowl because, again, it's the Cowboys. Jason, just your thoughts quick here on the Niners versus the Cowboys.
This is a game I've been going back and forth on just because of the defensive line on both teams. Dallas got Randy Gregory back. They have Gregory paired with DeMarcus Lawrence and Micah Parsons, who rushes and drops into coverage. And then on the Niners side, you have Arden Key, Eric Armstead, and Nick Bosa. So I think it's going to come down to which defensive line can cause more pressure. On the Niners side, Trayvon Diggs is going to have to cover a receiver, whether it be Debo or Ayuk. I think based off of the way Trayvon Diggs plays and his interception ratio based on the yards he gives up, he's going to have to stick to Brandon Ayuk just because of how dynamic Debo Samuel is. Yep. And I think I'm not a believer in Jimmy G. I thought that the Niners should have played Trey Lance last week. That was just me last week. But the way Jimmy G looked on the last drive, I really switched my tune. I was like, all right, Jimmy G's seeing something right now. And the yards after catch from the Niners receivers, I think it's just going to be too much for the other Cowboys corners. And I think the Niners are going to edge out the Dallas Cowboys this week.
I got to kick him off, Luke. He's gone. He's gone. Jimmy G, man.
Like, I said the same thing.
You can't hate on my man. You know what?
Almost exactly the same thing. I wasn't a big believer in Jimmy G and like and the Niners. And then last week, literally just towards the end, like we both said the same thing. We I think I'm starting to fall into it.
I need more Jimmy G supporters. I'm unbelievable. We're gonna move on. We're gonna move on.
You might not even be with the team next year.
You know what?
You're gonna be on like some other. Oh god.
I don't even care. One of the greatest quarterbacks alive right now, Jimmy Garoppolo. Mark it down. Game 3, Cardinals Rams. We've seen this matchup already twice this season. Luke, give me your thoughts on this divisional battle in the wildcard game.
I'm going to go with the Rams. I mean, the Cardinals are great. I like them. I really thought they could have been one of the Super Bowl teams. I saw something that was like they're the first team ever to lose 6 games in a season after starting off 7-0, which, I mean, again, 17-game season may change that a little bit, but I will say that they still, I mean, they're 4-6 ever since being 7-0. Like, that's just, I don't see them beating a team like the Rams just super easily. The Rams are just so talented, and they're starting to get back on their horse, and they barely lost to the Niners. So, yeah, I'm just going to give the Rams that game. I think that's a pretty simple pick. And, I mean, if the Cardinals win, good for them, but I just don't see it.
And let me sum it up for you. The Cards lost to the Lions. So that's just, like, you're really bringing yourself down, like, really low down. So that's
Dan Campbell, best coach in the league, baby.
Yeah, I'm taking the Rams all day, any day. Give me Matt Stafford. Love what he's doing. Cooper Kupp nearly broke Megatron's record. I mean,
18 yards.
Cam Akers might be coming back. Like, I'm feeling like I'm getting goosebumps right now. I'm not gonna lie. Jason, who are you taking, Rams or the Cards?
I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna go with the Rams. And as you mentioned, Cam Akers, he did return last week, so he's gonna be back for the Rams. Cooper Cup and Megatron, what's the common denominator? It's Matthew Stafford. And Matthew Stafford is going to win his first ever playoff game this week. And I just don't think Arizona has it in them. Kyler Murray doesn't have DeAndre Hopkins. And the way that Von Miller and Aaron Donald are rushing, Kyler's just going to have to start scrambling. He doesn't have DeAndre Hopkins down the field to just throw it up. And the Rams are just too dynamic right now. And Cooper Cup, the way he's playing, OBJ adding to that team, and Matthew Stafford is finally going to get his win in the playoffs.
100%, man. Completely agree. That team is just it's just stacked. Like on paper, Sean McVay too. Like it's gonna be fun to watch in the playoffs. We're gonna move over to the AFC now. Starting us off, first game: Chiefs, Steelers. Luke, I'm gonna be really disappointed if you pick one of the teams here to win this game. Who are you taking to win?
Big Ben. Nah, I can't pick a 300-pound, 40-year-old quarterback who throws balls into the dirt to beat the most dynamic offense in the NFL. I just can't. So, I mean, yeah, so Chiefs in a blowout. TJ Watt is like the one. Like I love players. I could go on and on about Pittsburgh players that I think are great, but the one true bright spot when you're watching TV, who are you going to notice most? It's obviously TJ Watt. And the Chiefs, Mahomes is able to get the ball out fast enough. He's able to roll left because that left side of the Steelers D-line isn't that impressive. I mean, they have Cam Hayward, but he's interior. And when Orlando Brown has a free matchup with one of those weak edge rushers like Alex Highsmith, he's going to win that matchup dominantly. And Mahomes is just going to be able to roll out left and throw dimes all day. So when I'm thinking about that game, I just see almost just a complete blowout.
Yeah, TJ Watt for me is really the only bright spot on that Steelers team. They have a lot of talented receivers, but this is just a biased opinion in the fact that I don't like the Steelers receivers. I don't like the Steelers, period. Other than Mike Tomlin, I am not a fan of the Steelers and Big Ben. Like I don't view anything particularly wrong with Big Ben, but other than that, it's a clown bus. The Steelers are I can't express how much I wanted the Raiders and the Chargers to tie
my god.
Just so I didn't have to see the Chase Claypool live
and Jackson Mahomes
bouncing in the locker room after being gifted a playoff seed by Jacksonville and the Chargers. So I don't even want to go there. Jason, who do you like in this game versus the Chiefs and the Steelers?
In this game, a lot of people are jumping on the Kansas City Chiefs going to the Super Bowl already. And I'm just not ready to give it up. I have the Steelers in this game. Big Ben's career is not going to end in the wild card round of the playoff. TJ Watt is unstoppable right now. Just tied Michael Strahan's sack record. The way that team is playing, they come around Big Ben. Every Super Bowl run, that defense comes around Big Ben, and that defense leads the team. Now, you can look at all the Chiefs' offense, but when you drop down Mika Fitzpatrick down to Travis Kelce, Big Ben is going to find a way to get it done, dump it down to Najee Harris. Chase Claypool, as much as you hate him, he's going to get it done in that receiving room, and the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to upset the Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead.
Hey, if he gets this right, you have to have him on for every episode for the rest of your show's history. If he is right, Jason, if you are right, I'd praise you. I
might be the only one that's going with the Steelers, but I think Big Ben's career is not going to end in the wild card round.
If the Steelers win this game, and mark this down right, if the Steelers win this game, I will. You will see the next podcast open up as me down on my knees praying to Jason with just the for the disrespect that we've shown him. But for the next week, I'm at a loss of words.
Oh my God.
I have to pick the Chiefs. The Steelers, No.
Okay, the thing is, I'm gonna bring some logic to why instead of just no. Is that the thing is, Big Ben's career almost was ended last year in the wild card round by the Browns. And this year he's got to play the Chiefs. And this time it's in Arrowhead. It's at Arrowhead. It's in Kansas City.
Like, okay,
It's
fair.
like, that's the one thing that is
If
really
you think about it, every time Big Ben is ready to give up, his defense comes around him. Every one of those years. And then he always has the running back, and now he has Najee Harris.
Last week they played Tyler Huntley. This week they're
Yeah.
playing the best maybe the best quarterback in the league.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough to the
And
point.
Ben always finds a way to get it done. Against all odds, Ben finds a way to get it done. Look at last week. He needed the Jaguars to get it done. Who thought the Jaguars were going to beat the Colts? But once again, Big Ben on the line. He gets it done somehow.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna move on to the next game right away, but the Chiefs have been very different this season. Okay, so I can see where Jason's coming from or where any other Steelers fan is coming from, but I am never, ever taking
I'm
the
not a
Steelers.
Steelers fan by any means.
Ever.
I'm not a Steelers fan, but I just believe in Big Ben.
Okay. That we're gonna ride it out for a week, and we'll see exactly how that pans out. We're gonna have to move over to Game 5 here, and that is going to be the Bills versus the Patriots. This is what I've been waiting for. Like, what
No
much
bias.
more could you ask, Luke? You like this is like literal zero bias. Like, who are you picking in this game?
Buffalo. I mean, okay. They beat New England in the more recent matchup. That's automatic red flag for New England. New England could use their physical style depending on the weather. Like, honestly, the weather. I need to check the forecast in Buffalo. Like on Sunday, Saturday, whenever they play.
Listen, that's Bills Mafia territory too. So
yeah, exactly. It's
like I'm fine. I personally I think I'm taking the Patriots in this game, but I'm wearing a Bills toque right now, so like I look so bad saying that, but I think that like either team, like those guys are both Super Bowl contenders. So like they're 1-1 right now.
You're wearing a Bills hat going with the Patriots.
You pick the Steelers, man. I don't want to hear it.
You're wearing a Bills hat.
Wearing a Bills hat. He's not wearing a Chiefs hat.
I don't want to go. I can't go against Bill Belichick, but I wanted to wear the hat because I think it looks good with
the
image.
Bills are winning this game, regardless of how New England's been able to run the ball on that Bills defense. Mac Jones is still a rookie at the end of the day. He doesn't have what Josh Allen has. And after the heartbreak that Stephon Diggs had last season, he is not losing to the Patriots in the first round of the playoffs. Stephon Diggs is going for at least 100 yards in this game and scoring a touchdown. Without a doubt, Allen and Diggs are going to lead the Bills to the second round.
I forgot I was wearing the toque. I'm going to be honest. I'm such a big Bills supporter too, but like I just have so much faith in Bill Belichick. I don't know. I can see both teams winning. I'm not like super sold on the Pats either. It's just I like Bill Belichick in the playoffs, but I guess we'll have to see. Like this isn't something that I think I deserve hate on if the Bills win because I know I'm wearing the toque, but like it's definitely a 50-50 I think game for most people. Like some people think Pats, some people think Bills. And I think that's just how it's going to be. It's going to be a really good game, I think, right down to the wire. And now moving into our final game of the weekend, that's going to be Bengals Raiders. Luke, I don't know if you want to drop what your hot take is here or if we're going to save that for later, or I already know who he's picking in this game, but I want to know if you want to just like let it all loose right now.
Okay, I'll let it all loose right now. I'm not picking the Raiders. People may think that I'm picking the Raiders for a hot take. I'm not picking the Raiders, but I am making a take that will also contribute to this game. I'm going to move my filter for this, all right? The Cincinnati Bengals are going to the Super Bowl. The Cincinnati Bengals. You can't do a facepalm.
Yeah,
that is a more
that
likely
is facts.
scenario than Pittsburgh winning this game. I don't care. Okay? Or like Cincinnati's offense is so unbelievably good. I don't care if Jamar Chase is a rookie and Joe Burrow is a second-year quarterback. Joe Burrow's got the ice in his veins. He's 25 too, or whatever. He's older than most second-year quarterbacks. Even if Jamar Chase doesn't show up, they have guys like T. Higgins, who's a second year, Tyler Boyd, who's a veteran, and you got guys, Dune Tate. You have so many receivers on that team that are so talented that no matter if, and CJ Uzama and Joe Mixon, like you have so many weapons that I don't care if Jamar Chase struggles. You have so many weapons that it's not really gonna, like, it'll hurt you, but it's not gonna end it all. And then when your defense, you have Trey Hendrickson, who you just brought in, who's been one of the best defenders in the league for the last 2 years in terms of sacks and D-line. He's leading that team. You have rookie young linebackers. You have a great secondary. You have one of the best safeties in the league in Jesse Bates. You have a good special teams. The Bengals have it all. And they have an easy matchup this week. And then after that, they don't have to go down to Kansas City or Buffalo. They go down to Tennessee, which you may think, since they're the 1 seed, I think they're the weakest. They're the weakest division winner in all of the playoffs. I don't care if they're the 1 seed. Yes, they are. They're the weakest division winner of all the playoffs. I don't care. They are worse than the Bengals.
They made it to the playoffs with A.J. Brown barely playing, Julio playing, and Derrick Henry out for half the year.
They're worse than all of the NFC teams. I don't care. The Titans, I don't care if they're the 1 seed. The Bengals go down to Tennessee. They have that matchup. They can go down, and then they have to either go play Buffalo or Kansas City. And at that point, if they get that far, I'm not picking them to lose.
Okay. Pause.
I didn't say they were winning. I said they're going.
Okay. So let's say they win the game, and they have to go down to Tennessee. Okay. The Tennessee Titans, for everyone's information, I'm gonna pull it up right now, hopefully. Obviously they're the 1 seed right now, right? So that, again, as Luke mentioned, can be slightly / very, very, very misleading in the fact that I think that they deserve a playoff spot, just not the 1 spot. Right now, their offense is 15th out of 32 for points for. So they're putting up 24.6 points against. And their defense is 6th out of 32. So surprisingly, very, very good. Now, let's say I think the Bengals can take that matchup. Okay, I think they beat the Raiders. So that, enters them into the conference championship. Luke, you're telling me that the Kansas City Chiefs, or the Buffalo Bills offense is going to get stopped by the 17th ranked defense for points against in the league, in the conference championship. Because that is necessary. That essentially is exactly what you've claimed.
Okay. When you watch
the Bengals will win round 1 with the Raiders.
Yeah.
But they're not going past the second round. They are winning the first round. They have no chance against the Titans. You could pull up any stat you want. The Tennessee Titans had Derrick Henry missing for the second half of the season. They had Julio Jones in and out of the lineup. He just caught his first touchdown as a Titan last week. And you had A.J. Brown in and out of the lineup as well. When those 3 are together, they are unstoppable. No team in the AFC is beating those 3 together.
They have won so many close games that could have been decided by one completely different, flag. Like the line.
All you have to
it kinda
do is
reminds me
take
of the
Jamar Chase
Lions.
out of the game, and then Joe Burrow starts to stutter, trying to figure out how he's going to get the ball to Higgins and Boyd. If his number one boy, Jamar Chase,
Oh,
is not there.
So
Joe
we're
Burrow
targeting
loves
that.
Jamar Chase
So
way
we're
too
targeting.
much.
We're targeting.
He
We're
threw
targeting.
like 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And he threw, oh my goodness.
I get Joe Burrow can throw the ball to any receiver, but all you have to do in that game is take Jamar Chase out of the game. The Tennessee Titans can do that. And that offense is not getting stopped by the Bengals defense.
Okay.
You can't load the box because you can't put man coverage on Julio and AJ Brown. And you can't double cover them because you can't leave only 4-man rushing when Derrick Henry's in the backfield.
You have Jesse
That
Bates.
offense
They're
is too
going deep.
powerful
You
for
got
the
Jesse
Bengals
Bates.
defense to stop.
All right.
Okay, and who's on the other side with Julio? Or who's on the other side with AJ Brown?
Von Bell. Von Bell, one of the
Von
underrated
Bell is
safeties
not
in the
going to be able
league.
to cover
Hard-hitting
neither
safety.
AJ Brown.
AJ Brown or Julio coming down with it. Von Bell will blow that dude up. And the thing is, they got Awuji on one side. Awuji is an underrated outside corner. I don't care. The Bengals are going to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
But look
Here-
what Tannehill's done with
You-
the rest of his receivers when AJ and Julio have been out.
You want to
What?
hear something? Do you guys want to hear something? You know what? You know why you guys are both delusional? Because you guys both think that the Tennessee Titans or the Bengals are actually going to make a run. Because let me tell you something. The Tennessee Titans or the Bengals will have to play. Okay, disregarding
One of them are
Jason's,
going to the conference championship.
one of them is going to have to play either the Chiefs or the Bills or the Pats. And we're not talking about the Steelers pick because they're not making the conference championship.
The Titans will beat the Chiefs. If the Chiefs beat the Steelers, the Titans will beat the
What?
Chiefs.
The Titans cannot beat. The Titans could never.
The Titans will beat the Chiefs. The Titans will beat the Chiefs. You can mark it down. The Titans will beat the Chiefs if they play in the playoffs.
I'm done. I'm done.
The Chiefs are not beating the Titans. That pass rush is powerful on the Titans' defense.
But Dupree just
I
got
would
DUI.
take the
I don't
Titans
even know
over
if
the
that
Chiefs
dude's gonna
any
play.
day. If they play, I'm taking the Titans over the Chiefs. And they will play because the Titans are making it. The Titans are making the conference championship.
So you're saying the Titans are going to the Super Bowl?
They'll make the conference championship depending on who they play. I don't know if the Chiefs make it there, depending on the matchups that come. Because of the seeding. The Chiefs are the 2 seed right now. So if they beat the Steelers, the Bengals are the 4 seed, and say Buffalo wins. So the Bengals would have to go to Tennessee. The Bengals are not beating the Titans. So the Titans are cashing in on the conference championship. And then it's just a matter of the Chiefs versus the Bills, which is a phenomenal matchup.
No. Just the thing is, I'm not saying the Bengals are winning in a blowout in the AFC Championship. Anything can happen. The Bengals, I don't care if it's the stereotype of the Bengals can't win. This is a new Bengals team. Joe Burrow
The Bengals
has
are
ice in
losing
his
to the
veins.
Titans.
They
The
can,
Bengals are not beating the
they
Titans.
can easily beat the Titans. The Titans are
They're
good
not
in
beating
close
the
games.
Titans.
I'll give them that. They're good in those games where they score 16 points. And they're
And
good
you're
at
giving Derrick Henry another week to heal up. Derrick Henry
Derrick
could have
Henry-
returned this week if he was cleared.
They've been
He gets
running the
another
ball
week to heal
200
up.
yards a game even without Derrick Henry. I don't know how much more of an
Exactly.
impact.
So now you
this
add
dude's
Derrick
gonna
Henry to that offense. So now you add Derrick Henry to that offense.
Dante Foreman just had like almost 200 rushing yards. Literally, last week, 2 weeks ago?
You're
Like,
literally helping my case by saying Foreman has gotten it done. And now you're adding Derrick Henry. So even if Derrick Henry can't go,
Foreman's
which he
doing
will
the
go,
same thing
you
Derrick
still have
Henry
Foreman.
did with the same O-line.
Mm-hmm.
So it's literally just showing that Derrick Henry's going to do like the exact same thing because Foreman was matching Henry's
And you
status.
have Foreman right next to him. So you have 2 backs now, along with those top 2 receivers.
They're not
I
going
feel
to run
like
the ball to Foreman.
I feel like I have to hop in here and just make some
That's
crazy
my
take to match up with you guys. Like, what's it gonna take for me to beat this? Like, you guys want me to predict that the Raiders are gonna be the Super Bowl champs? Because that's what's coming up next. That is what I'm hearing. I've been listening for 7 straight minutes. You guys just talk rubbish about 2 teams that, honestly, if everybody was healthy, I don't even know if they would be divisional winners. if the Ravens were
The
healthy, I
Titans
don't know
would
if
be
this is
divisional winners
Cincinnati.
regardless. Nobody in that division could take down the Titans. The Colts just lost to the Jaguars. The Colts haven't beaten the Jaguars since 2014 in Jacksonville. You're not going to tell me that the Colts will dethrone the Titans in that
I feel
division.
like
The Titans have that division on lock. Carson Wentz cannot be trusted at quarterback either. So there's no way the Colts are winning that division. I have respect for the entire Colts team, but Carson Wentz is not leading that team.
Okay, now he's mad, and I'm gonna actually have to wrap this up because we've gone for 40 minutes just talking about this Bengals Titans game. This is gonna be exactly what's gonna happen next week, because next week we're throwing hands, because now I have Steelers are gonna win prediction, a Bengals are going to the Super Bowl prediction, Tennessee Titans are arguably the best team in the league prediction. That all of that is going
Best
to be
team in
resolved.
the AFC. I didn't say the league.
I said arguably in the league, okay? Because if they're the best team in the AFC, then arguably they'd have to be one of the best teams in the league.
Okay.
But I'm telling you guys, next few weeks, just watch. It's gonna get chaotic because just look at what's already happened.
You're gonna go far.
Okay, crazy. So we're getting back into it. All right. I want to thank everybody who came on to watch. If you guys are watching on the JV show right now, please head over to the Fantasy Football Network. Give us a view, give us a like, give us a comment, please. It'd be much appreciated. Luke, Jason, thank you guys very much for coming on tonight. I appreciate it. Honestly, I'm excited to have you guys on in the future. Hopefully, we could settle our disagreements a little bit more sane next time. But you know what? That's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about. Yeah. It's playoff time. I'm excited. Let me know your guys' predictions down in the comments. And we will see you guys in the divisional round of the playoffs next week. Peace out, guys.